There is a topic that I've been wanting to cover on my channel for a while, which is essentially fan bases that are toxic to the gaming community. You have good fan bases, you have bad fan bases, but I want to discuss the ones that are actually not healthy for gaming as a whole. Among the worst fucking fan base that I can think of in gaming is the Dark Souls community. The fucking Souls games, first of all, speaking real briefly on the games themselves, the fucking Souls games are not fucking perfect. They're very far from it. These games have a lot of issues. They have issues narratively. They have issues from a gameplay perspective. They have issues from a graphical perspective. They are not fucking perfect at all. There's a lot of issues. They're not good RPG games either. As action games, they're okay. They're decent. But if you go back and you play the older God of War games or Devil May Cry, the Ninja Gaiden games, those games are far superior to the fucking Souls games gameplay-wise. Dark Souls is an ARPG, but another ARPG franchise that's better than it is fucking Kingdom Hearts. 10 times over I'll play a fucking Kingdom Hearts game before I'll play a fucking Souls game. These games have a lot of issues and shit, but the fucking fan base to these games, I can't stand Dark Souls fans at all. And when I say Dark Souls fans, I'm not attacking anyone who like these games, just anyone, because like I said, I like 3 of the Souls games myself, 2 of them which were developed by From Software, and then another which wasn't developed by From Software. Those games being Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, and Neo. I like the Souls games and whatnot, but I'm not a From Software fanboy. I'm not a fanboy of any gaming company or any gaming franchise. And so I'm talking specifically about the fanboys. Not if you're a fan, just a normal fan, and you enjoy these games, fine. But no, I'm talking about the actual fucking fanboys and shit. The motherfuckers that you see on the internet and shit. The get good faggots and the praise the sun idiots and all that shit. Those are the people I'm fucking talking about. Yeah, these motherfuckers think these games are perfect and shit, and they're not. I made a From Software Going Forward video in which in that video I was explaining what I want to see From Software do going into the future. And the main thing I stated in that video was I don't want to see them continue to make these fucking Souls games and shit over and over and over again, because that's essentially what they did. That's what they've done for the past several years. They've just made the same fucking game over and over and over again with minor improvements and minor changes from game to game, starting from Demon Souls and ending with Dark Souls 3. With all the fucking Souls clones outside of From Software's development studios, such as Neo, Code Vein, and Lords of the Fallen and Salt and Sanctuary and so on and so forth, I don't want to fucking see any more of the fucking Souls influence in the gaming industry. The Souls formula has pretty much ruined action-based video games. These game developers just keep copying this formula that this company came up with, and it's just ruined certain things, like the new God of War. Just straight ripped ideas from this fucking franchise and shit, when God of War already had its own identity and shit. And then that new vampire game, which also fucking ripped ideas, just straight ripped them from this development studio without putting its own spin on anything. That's the reason why I don't want to see any more Soul shit, because these games have had too much of an influence and whatnot. I had a fanboy on that video that I made, the From Software Going Forward video, who stated that the Souls games are underrated, not overrated. Motherfucker, how are the Souls games underrated when just about every major gaming publication, from IGN to GameSpot to fucking Game Informer and so on and so forth, have given each and every single one of the fucking Souls games at least a 9 out of 10 score minimum? Ow, motherfucker. On top of that, the fucking Souls games themselves, they sell millions of copies from game to game. These games aren't fucking underrated. They're overrated ass games. Okay? There's a lot of issues with the fucking Souls games and whatnot. It's whatever, these games exist. I don't have an issue with them existing. I have an issue with these fucking fans and shit who think that these games are fucking Jesus incarnate. And they're not. Like I said, and even the whole favorite slogan, the whole get good thing, that shit is fucking stupid. It's retarded. It's juvenile. It doesn't even make any sense, because the fucking Souls games, the Souls formula is a repetitive formula. You enter a level, you fight through waves of enemies, you go on and you fight fight the boss that you don't give a shit about, that you know nothing about in the game, with the stupid fucking overemphasized opera music and shit that just comes out of nowhere. You kill the boss, and then you go on to the next level and you do the same shit all over again. It's pretty much like that from the start of the game to the end of the game. So, you know, there's nothing to get good at. The fucking mechanics are simple. There's no air combat or anything like that. A lot of the enemies that you encounter are stupid. You can strafe around them most of the time, or just spam your shield or whatever if you're playing, you know, Dark Souls or what have you. One of the Dark Souls games. There's nothing from a gameplay perspective that's really deep about these fucking Souls games. They're not good RPG games either. The character that you create is a fucking walking stick figure who has no personality. You don't give a shit about the character that you create. And I compare that to like Mass Effect game or something that also has a character creation feature. And the character that you create in Mass Effect has a personality. They have feelings, choices, different implications on their character and shit that's just completely missing in the fucking Souls games. So they're not even good RPG games and shit from that perspective either. In terms of it being an ARPG and shit where you're fighting with like a swords or, you know, a physical based weapon, another fucking ARPG series that's better than this, both narratively and from a gameplay perspective, is Kingdom Hearts. I'll play a fucking Kingdom Hearts game 10 times over before I'll play a fucking Souls game. These are issues in the Souls formula, and that's something that these fucking Souls fans don't understand. They will not accept any form of criticism to these games and shit. And there are people out there who do not like the fucking Souls games. And if you don't like the fucking Souls games, that's okay. You know, that's fine. It actually makes more sense to fucking hate these games than to like them, because they're so flawed and they have so many issues and shit. But like I said, once again, I'm not even really attacking the franchise itself. I'm attacking the fucking fan base, these fanboys and shit. Like I said, the whole get good thing, it doesn't even make any fucking sense, because if you go and you play another action-based video game that actually tests your fucking skill and shit, such as the older God of War games, the Devil May Cry games, or the Ninja Gaiden games, or the Bayonetta games, if you go and you play something like that and play it on its hardest difficulty, you'll find more of a fucking challenge there than you will these fucking Souls games. Same thing with, once again, going back to Kingdom Hearts. You'll find more of a challenge playing Kingdom Hearts 2 on Critical than you will any of the fucking Souls games. This whole series is overrated. I don't want to see any more fucking Souls anything from the video game industry. If a game is copying, like if I see a game that's copying, straight up ripping off the fucking Souls formula, such as the new God of War game, and it can be anything. The game developers could put a fucking boss fight in the game that's similar to a Souls boss fight or whatever, or their combat system could be similar to the Souls games. They could have a stamina bar in there, the mechanics that are limited, where the game's only responsive up to a certain point. The fucking lock-on system is exactly the same or whatever. I don't even want to fucking go anywhere near it and shit, because I've already played 3 games that are essentially the same. But past a certain point, I'm going to start to lose interest in shit, just like I did with Call of Duty, just like I did with Assassin's Creed. You know, these games are essentially the same fucking thing over and over and over again. I don't want to see From Software or any other development studio continue with this fucking Souls formula. True action-based video games such as the older God of War games, the Devil May Cry games and shit, those games are fucking dead for the most part in the gaming industry. The only game that's similar to that is coming out or whatever is Lost Soul Aside. You know, that game was developed by one dude, and his combat system, the combat system he came up with, looks 10 times better than anything in the fucking Souls games. So up these games or whatever, the fan base, the get good faggots and the praise the sun idiots and shit, you motherfuckers like need to grow up and shit, because like these so-called hardcore gamers who refer to themselves as such, you know, oh, we're gamers, and if you don't play Dark Souls, you're not a real gamer, and all this other bullshit that's out there and whatnot. Gaming doesn't belong to you motherfuckers. Gaming belongs to anyone who sits down and enjoys video games. Any fucking video game. It doesn't matter what the genre is. It doesn't matter what the fucking system of choice is. It doesn't matter if you're playing on console or PC. This whole, you know, I'm a real gamer or you're not a real gamer if you don't play Dark Souls. Fuck Dark Souls and fuck you, you fucking Dark Souls fucking idiots and shit. Praise the sun. You know what? It's like, that's so fucking stupid. Praise the sun. Praise the sun. Praise this dick, motherfucker. How about that? praise this cock and these balls right here, motherfucker. Yeah, I fucking hate this fan base and shit. It pisses me off just talking about this shit. But, you know, that's why I made this video and whatnot, because it's important that people understand the difference between a fan and a fanboy. Like I said, if you're a fan of these games, fine. But when you cross that fucking line to where you're insulting people and you're coming up with juvenile slogans and shit, and you think that these games are fucking immaculate and that they're perfect and that there's nothing wrong with them, that's when I'm gonna call you out on your bullshit. So yeah, you fucking Souls fans and shit, grow the fuck up, dude. Seriously.